Hi, and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. I am Camille, and on today's episode we will be making a spatchcock chicken. That just means a roasted chicken a different way. And we will also be making some roasted potatoes, and we went to the farmer's market today, so we will be having some fresh corn on the cob. Let me show you what you will need to get started, but before that, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, definitely hit the like. All right, let's go. All right, for this recipe, you will need a chicken, a roasting chicken. I have some corn on the cob. We've got a couple of different kinds of potatoes. We have assorted herbs and some poultry seasoning. Okay, let's start with our chicken. We have just a regular roasting chicken here. I think mine was about 6 pounds. We're going to turn that upside down so we have the backbone facing us. I call this the tail. This is how we're going to get started. So you take a good pair of cooking shears, or kitchen shears I should say, and we're going to cut up the backbone of the chicken. Sometimes it is not as easy. Sometimes it goes very easily. Usually, if your shears are really sharp, you can cut that right out. All right, there we go. Okay, that's it. And we're going to save this for some bone broth. Okay, and there is a breastbone in here. I'm going to turn my chicken upside down, and I'm just going to lean on it to get that more flat. There we go. I don't know if you could hear that. Okay, that's exactly how we want it. So I'm going to pat it dry a little bit. And we are going to roast it right here in my skillet. I have some oil in the bottom, maybe about a tablespoon or two. Let me get my hands washed up and I will show you what we need to do next. All right, we're going to add some seasoning. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to add a little bit of poultry seasoning. If you don't have poultry seasoning, you can add a little bit of rosemary, thyme, sage, some basil, marjoram, or any combination of those herbs. All right, let's take this over to the stove and I will show you the next step. All right, we've got the chicken on a high. We're going to just sear it. We're not trying to cook it on the stove. Add a little bit of salt and pepper to this side. This will only take a couple of minutes. We want to sear both sides, or I'm sorry, just the one side, skin up. So right now we have the chicken still upside down. Oh, this lighting. All right, make sure she's laying flat, just like that. And you can tuck the wings behind if you'd like. It really doesn't matter. Okay, now we're just going to cut up our potatoes for roasting. I'm just dicing these into just about half moons. We want everything to cook at the same time as the chicken. I'm literally going to throw them all in the same oven because there's nothing fancy around here. I only have one oven. Okay, for the fresh herbs, I have some rosemary, sage, and some thyme. We're just going to strip the rosemary off the leaves and the thyme because these get woody. And these are just herbs from the garden. Oh, I love the smell of fresh herbs. Okay. Now, before I get too far into this, let's get some kosher salt on here. Some pepper. And I'm just going to give these herbs a little bit of a chop. Now, if you don't have fresh herbs, you can use that same poultry seasonings or just some rosemary and some sage or rosemary and thyme, whatever herbs you like. All right, we're going to put about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. Mix this around. We're going to throw this in the same 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long it takes, since there will be two things in our oven. I'm going to start checking that chicken at 45 minutes though. All right, let's get this in. All right, we've got this fresh sweet corn from the farmer's market today. I have a half a pan of water, and yes, it's just room temperature water. I don't start mine and then throw it in boiling water. And if you were to get fresh corn from the farmer's market, always ask when they've picked it. The best corn is picked that same day. This was picked this morning. So you want to cook it and eat it at its freshest. Okay, now it's all ready. Usually these are definitely sweet enough because everything is in season right now. But I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of sugar just to my water. I am going to put this on the stove and we are going to get it to a boiling. As soon as it's to a boiling, I let it boil for about 2 minutes and then I turn it off. It is done. It is perfect. Let me show you what that looks like as soon as it's done. And everything will be done at the same time. I'm going to put this on about 15 minutes before the chicken and the potatoes are done, so everything is done at the same time. But it doesn't hurt to sit in the water if you do it a little bit early. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, the corn has started bubbling. It's been boiling for about a minute. We're going to let it go for about 1 more minute, and then we're going to turn it off. You don't want your corn to be tough. All right, let's plate it up. Okay, friends, this is what it looks like when it's done. It's beautiful and it's got a nice crispy crust. We've got the corn and we've got the roasted sweet potatoes and new potatoes. All right, friends, I am glad that you came on this episode today. This meal is definitely worth cooking. It only took about an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes because I had 2 things in the oven at the same time, but it's definitely worth it. And for me, it's my day off. It's my weekend, so I went ahead and made a big dinner. But you can definitely do this on a weeknight. It takes about an hour. So if you like these recipes today, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, definitely hit the like button. And we will see you on the next one. Definitely keep it homemade. Thanks for coming.